I am Chrysula Georgoula, and this is my novel, Λέγε Stratos, in Greek, which is publishing in English, translation by Mariana Vouri, by Istros Books, as Call Me Stratos. Stratos is a 42 years old man who, after his dramatic divorce, returns to his family home to live with his mother and his brother. Humiliated from family and friends, he turns to drink and remembers an over-glorified past. Through the Stratos story, we can see the challenges and changes that have taken place in Greek society over the last quarter of a century due to the financial and societal crisis. Call Me Stratos is a vivid portrayal of some of the most important aspects of Greek society. Chapter 14. Well, if it isn't the guys, I said, recognizing the copper who was mocking and biting his nails the previous day at the police station. They took me to the same old office and dumped me in the same chair across from the same officer. He rolled his eyes and was about to note down the incident in his book when the door opened and, like the sun, Sotiria entered in the company of my Aunt Helen. "Good morning, officer," Sotiria said. "Good morning. What are you? And what do you want?" he asked, vexed. "I'm Stratos' wife, and I've come to pick him up." "Pick him up? To take him where?" He scanned her from head to foot, as if she had descended from Mars. "Home, officer," Sotiria looked him straight in the eye. "Hats of you, Sotiria, for being one tough cookie and cleaning up after me," I pondered proudly. As stipulated by the law, Stratos was caught flagrante delicto for disturbing the peace and will get the corresponding sentence. If you have the money, you'll get him out. Otherwise, he will holiday in Kolitalos prison for a month or so. The officer stopped her in her tracks. "As far as I know, officer, no one has filed a complaint against him." Sotiria didn't fall for it. "Look here, madam, don't tell me how to do my job. Your husband is being prosecuted ex officio for disturbing the peace," said the copper. "Stratos didn't hurt anybody, officer. If he's hurting someone with his drinking, is himself," said Sotiria almost in tears. "Within the last month, he has trampled us at least 3 times with his quarrels and brawls with the neighbors, and to make matters worse, on Tuesday he disrupted the counter-terrorism agency together with his mate, Memos Papadogioras, another nice guy," the pink snorted. "They were drunk, officer, and when they drink, they fight to the finish. I swear on my child that when he's in his right mind, he is incapable of hurting anybody. But he didn't know how to snitch," he snapped. "It was the booze talking, officer, not my Stratos. Please hand him over to me, and I promise you will never trouble the agency again," resumed Sotiria. "Do you hear what your wife says, Actidis? If you promise me we won't be seeing you again soon, I won't long tonight's incident in the book," the officer softened. "On my military honor." "Officer," I responded. "On what?" He blushed like an angry turkey. "Officer, I served as a staff sergeant in the Hellenic Commando Unit," I responded. "And how come you ended up like this? I don't want to ever see you in that terrible shape again. Yes, officer. I gave him a military salute and walked out with my arms around Sotiria and the tap-tap ahead of us, rolling down the stairs of the police station. My aunt left us somewhere near home, where we arrived at dawn. I followed Sotiria as if in a dream. I was cold. The morning twilight pierced my ribs and my teeth were chattering. Are you cold? She asked with fatigue stabbed on her face. No, Sotiria dear, I said, and felt grateful for her and ashamed of myself for tormenting a woman like that. At the entrance of our block of flats, we heard Desi's dog barking as if it had smoked a carton of cigarettes. Stepping out of the lift on the third floor, we ran into the smell of Ajax for floors that poured out in the corridor. Given that when me and Memos went out that afternoon, I had left the door wide open. What did you get like this, Stratis, my darling? You couldn't even close our door, said Sotiria, crying. I didn't speak. I felt my legs shaking and I staggered, but she was quick to prop me up. She dragged me to the bed and made me lie down. The digital clock on my bedside table ran 6:20. My strength had run out. I squeezed my eyes shut. Soon I felt the bed creak and Sotiria's warm body next to me. I buried my face in her heavy boobs and sank into a safe and luminous world.